Hey guys, I'm doing this video today to answer a question by YouTube commenter named Stantwan Kendrick. He was asking me, do I think CDs are still relevant today, other than sending to radio stations or something like that. So this is my answer to this, so hopefully it helps. I'll just tell you, by the way, I think they are still prevalent. It just depends on what you kind of want to do with them. And I will also say that really quick, most of what I tell people in my videos, whether it's about music publishing or guitar or even this subject, strictly my opinion. I mean, it may not work for everybody. So, I'm sure all of you are smart enough to take things with a grain of salt and see what works for you. I'm just doing things that I've found, have worked for me or didn't work for me. So I'm just sharing that knowledge. But yeah, you may... you may be like Chance the Rapper, never have to ever print a CD ever in your life, so, and if that's you, that's great. But anyway, hope this video helps, and we'll chat at you later. Peace. Alright, so the printer that I'm using to print with, well, first let me just show you the discs. This is what I'm printing on. These are blank white discs, and I get these pretty cheaply at Micro Center here in Atlanta. I think I pay like maybe $15 for 100. So sometimes you can get them for $9.99 for 100. So you're looking at 10 to 15 cents per disc. So it's not that expensive, and they're printable white media. The brand that I got is, I don't know what this brand is, but you can see it is it's some generic offshoot brand that they have at Micro Center. Any brand will work. So anyhow, the printer, which is an Artisan 710. Okay, so here's my setup for printing one disc at a time. I do this because I don't need to print a ton of discs for gigs. I can just print maybe 10 for this gig and put on 2 or 3 new songs that I'm working on. The whole point of this process is not to have to go to disc makers and spend $1,000 or $1,500 printing up 1,000 discs that are not going to get used or sold. And your music may change, you may go in a different direction. So you want to be able to experiment, you want to stay flexible. Music now is going on YouTube, it's going on SoundCloud, it's going on Spotify. So it goes up so fast, and music changes so fast, and you may be changing so fast, you don't want to have media that you're stuck to. So anyway, I use this CD burner from Apple. I put the disc in. You guys know how to burn a disc probably. And here, I'm going to pull up my iTunes. I'm actually on YouTube shooting this video because somebody actually asked me a question about all this stuff, and I want to answer their question appropriately. Anyway, you can tell I use iTunes. We'll get up, take it off of manual focus. So here's an EP that I print. It's called Urban Guitar Legend EP, and I've got 3 songs on there: Roxanne, See You Again, and Godfather Blues. And all I do is I come down here to this particular playlist that I made, Urban Guitar Legend EP, and right click and click Burn Playlist to Disk. When I do that, normally I just do no gap. I don't like any audio gaps between songs. I like to just go right into the next song. So anyway, I click burn, and now you see that it's burning. And it's burning in real time. It takes about, it takes about like a minute or 2 to burn. Let's see. I'm gonna actually put on the stopwatch on my phone so I can see how long it actually takes to burn a disc. I don't think it's any more than, usually while I'm burning this disc, what I'll normally do is come over to the printer, and I have another disc printing while I'm burning this. So as I'm actually burning this, I'm gonna go over to the software that came with the Artisan 710 printer, and I'm gonna pull up this label that I made. I can't show you how to do all this because it's kind of take too much time, but suffice it to say, I did the label in Photoshop, and you know, I imported it into here. So here's the label. Got the names of the songs. Roxanne, Gordon Sumter wrote the song. That's Sting, or Sumner. I think it's Sumner. Yeah. See You Again is by me. Godfather Blues is by me. But as you can see, I use kind of a high resolution when I save the file in Photoshop, DPI. You know, so like 300 DPI or whatever. So this is what I'm going to print on the disc. So let's check back over and see what's still cooking in the oven. And as you can see, the disc in that amount of time, it's pretty much almost done. So as this kind of gets done. Alright, cool. So the disc is done. I could actually play it just to make sure that it recorded properly, which I'm sure it did. Sometimes it takes a while to... Okay, so I can see that it... Okay, that's enough. I get off on my own music sometimes. Which you should too. That's why you do music. It's because you get off on it first. And then you hope other people do. So anyway, let's change this ISO back. 800. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to put the disc in. Again, that's the Artisan 710 printer. And once I put the disc in there, I'm basically going to, from here, I'm going to click print. So print. And the tricky thing here, it's not really tricky, but you want to make sure your inner diameter settings are set. Long story short, I'm just going to show you this really quick. There's something called inner diameter settings. What that's referring to is the inner diameter of the disc. So for example, this inner diameter of this disc, it comes in very close. You see a white right here that comes in very close to the center. But here's another brand of disc that I actually have been using. Oh, by the way, it only took like a minute or two to actually burn the disc. Let me put this down for a second. Okay, where this disc is different, these two discs are different. So one of them, you can tell the inner diameter is wider. There's not any white in here, and there is right here. So this prints all the way to the center. So that's what this inner diameter setting is for. An inner diameter of 20 millimeters for the one that prints all the way to the center, and the other inner diameter, you know, if I were to set this to 40, it would be for this one right here. So anyway, make sure you have that set. And come in here, click print, and actually print it. So we'll see how long this takes. Let me stop, reset. Let's see how long this actually takes. Start, because it's actually starting to print now. Sorry, I have to keep changing the ISO settings on my camera. Doesn't take long at all. Like I say, once you get a little routine, a little process down to where you're burning a disc and you're printing, you'll see that you'll probably print about, I don't know, you're probably printing like a disc every 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. So, you know, 10 discs, if you got a show coming up tonight, print your 10 discs to sell. We're going to see what it looks like. It's coming out the oven. Yeah, I know this is kind of boring to watch a disc being printed. It's kind of like watching paint dry. But hey, it's knowledgeable. Here, it's telling me that I need some more ink. So, your ink lasts a pretty long time. I can't tell you how many discs you're going to get to print, you know, for a full ink set. But it's a lot. It's like a few hundred or something. Okay, so pull this out. Okay, this didn't come out the best. I've gotten better print results. Not bad, but I've gotten better.